because I don't think that people drinking alcohol or taking drugs should be um, able to drive, but at least with alcohol, you can take a breathalyzer, where if somebody's high, you can't really take a breathalyzer and determine right away.
She states that she doesn't want people driving on marijuana, which is a reasonable statement, as even I believe people shouldn't drive while under the influence, but it is safer than being under the influence of alcohol, as a laboratory study showed that users under the influence are extremely cautious while driving. The users drive more slowly, are less likely to pass another vehicle on the road, and increase the distance of the car in front of them. This is due to the users being aware of their impairment, so they adjust their driving accordingly. The findings for alcohol are completely opposite, with users increasing speed and decreasing car distances.
Well, same thing with the teaching or any other profession. You would certainly not want your teacher to be taking any other drugs that were suddenly appeared to be okay to take that wasn't okay a week ago. Yeah, I'm afraid people will drive, and I think that if people are taking drugs and they're at work, they're not going to be as coherent as if they weren't taking it. I wouldn't want my doctor to be high on marijuana and doing surgery on me.
This statement is baseless. People are not simply going to smoke marijuana before work simply because it is legal. There is no doctor or surgeon that has drank alcohol before a surgery because it is legal. The same can be said with marijuana.
I'm against it because it causes birth defects. I'm against it because it's highly addictive. It's just another drug out there for parents to try and tell their young children to stay away from drugs. And then they can say, well, it's legal, so why can't I? It shows that there's more criminals that are arrested that are using marijuana that aren't. So that shows you that people who rob and are criminals are on that, and it's just wrong. It's just another drug that we're constantly having to tell our kids to stay off of, and then it's going to be that much easier for them to be able to get a hold of if it's legal.
First off, she states how it causes birth defects. I actually did not know whether this was true or not. After searching and honestly trying to find a study that says it does cause defects, I came up with nothing. The majority said that there was not an increase in birth defects with marijuana, unlike the major defects that occur with the legal drug, alcohol. So this fact she came up with is just an assumption. As far as marijuana being highly addictive like she stated, is absolutely not true. Marijuana has the least addicting traits compared to alcohol, tobacco, and other hard drugs like cocaine and heroin, and the withdrawal experience is way less dramatic. In fact, nearly 57% of people in addiction clinics for marijuana were sent there by the justice system, and only 15% were self-administered. Her comment about all criminals using marijuana is actually false too, as far as violent criminals go. In fact, only a small proportion of marijuana users among any groups of criminals or delinquents known to the authorities and appearing in study samples had ever been arrested or convicted for such violent crimes as murder, forcible rape, aggravated assault, or armed robbery. When these marijuana-using offenders were compared with offenders who did not use marijuana, the former were generally found to have committed less aggressive behavior than the latter.